Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Manifesting Your Desires. It's Antonio checking in. And you guys know that I've been talking about meditation my last couple videos. And I know my last video I talked about how I gave myself a day-to-day list, the things that I personally want to complete. And, this is day 2 of it. And I can sense a little change. Like I said, I've always been on my meditation. I've always been on this journey. So even when I become unaligned or I feel that I'm off track, it doesn't take much for me to get back on track, if that makes sense, because I still have the tools, I still have the formula, to do what I got to do. And lately, life has really been lifing for me. And it's all good because, these are situations that build strength. And it's been days recently where I was just super stressed and I couldn't shake it. I didn't want to meditate. I just couldn't get out of a certain funk that I was in. But I knew that if I stay in that, then, that's what's going to continue to manifest. And it's crazy because it's like when you're in those stressful, bad moods, for some reason, it's like you want to stay there, but you don't want to stay there, but you want to stay there. It's a weird feeling. But me knowing what I know, it's like, okay, these are the times I have to apply it. And although I was applying it, I still felt this tenseness. I still felt, I just like, man, I can't shake it for some reason. I don't know if y'all ever been so stressed that you're like, man, I just can't shake this feeling. I don't want to feel like this. I mean, eventually over time, I was able to shake it because I picked up a book. And the book was called The Kybalion. I don't know if I said that right, The Kybalion. And I just opened it to the very end. In the very end, it talks about mastering your moods. And it talks about using polarity to, master your moods. And when I say polarity, it's basically saying the opposite of whatever it is. Like, say, for instance, I was in a stressful mood. The opposite of that, the polar opposite of the stressful mood will be, joyfulness or, just non-stress. And it goes on to state, I'm not going to get too in depth, but it goes on to state that, you become a master of your mental alchemy once you learn how to transmute your moods, your impulses, and your actions, and that's the one who really takes control of their mind, and that's the one individual who really learns how to manifest is the individual who is able to acknowledge the mood or situation that they in and gradually move towards the polar opposite. So I read that and it just clicked. And I was like, I'm in this little funk. But in order for me to get out of this, I gotta be the one to do that. And it's like, maybe I'm put in this situation to build my strength, to learn how to navigate during trying times, Maybe I'm put in this particular situation, this super stressful situation, so I can learn how to, I guess, control my mood. If I'm feeling stressed, I need to acknowledge it, feel the stress, but at the same time, start to move towards the polar opposite of that. And I was doing it. And I actually could say that that's what led me to making these last 2 videos that I made. And it's been feeling good. And I've been, like I said, my last few videos, I've been back on my meditation. And not just my meditation, I've been super consistent with my art, and despite what I've been going through, I kept painting. Like, usually when I'm stressed or going through something, I just don't paint, I don't create. But this is the first time in life I can honestly say when I was going through something, no matter how I felt, I still got up, I still made my art, I still recorded my videos, and I still posted them. And by the way, I'm gonna start putting my art channel in the description below so y'all can check out what I've been doing art-wise. But I say that to say, usually when I do things like meditating, creating, I realize they put me on a higher vibration. And when I'm on this higher vibration, I notice that I emit a higher frequency. And by me emitting this higher frequency, life shows me things that allows me to remember that, hey man, you're on the right path. And usually the universe speaks to me like just straightforward. Like today I was walking my nature path, and let me show y'all what I found. It's small, but it was just a sign. I found $1. Now, throughout my life, I always find money on the ground. Weird thing that I got. And usually I always find, when I find money, like of course I always find pennies and quarters and dimes, but when I actually find the paper money, it's always something that I'm doing mentally. It's always something that I'm doing spiritually. I know it's money, so I don't want people to think, well, you can find a lot of other things. And true enough, because I do art. And on this same nature trail, I have found paint and paint brushes. I was like, wow, that's, and I'm always finding pencils on the ground. Sometimes I don't pick them up because, it's dirty. But, on a nature trail, how many times can you honestly say that you found money or paint brushes? Let's say if you aspiring to be a doctor and you walk in the nature trail somewhere, you find a stethoscope. I don't know if I'm saying that right, on the ground. You be like, oh, that's my sign. So for me, finding that $1, even though it's money and even though it's $1, it's just the mindset that I know I'm usually in when I find money, because I have found $50 on the ground. It's been times, one time I found a scratch off on the ground, I scratched it off. It was a $50 scratch off winner. Like for me, the universe always shows me or gives me these signs that I'm on the right path, even in my most stressful moments. And even though it's $1, like I said, it's just a sign from the universe, like, hey man, you're on the right path. And if you want to go deeper, it's like, hey, you're on the right path and you genuinely walking this path. And maybe, by walking this path, you will generate income that'll be equivalent to your lifestyle. Ideally, that's what I would desire. That's what I desire. So to anybody out there, just know that the more you become aligned, these signs and these universal laws will really show themselves to you. And if you forgive the noise back there, I just realized they back there doing a lot of yard work. But it's time for us to, do things that are gonna put you on a higher vibration. And you can start with meditating. Meditating alone is a high vibration activity. Spending time in nature is a high vibration activity. And when you operate on a high vibration, you send out these high frequencies. Because whether you're on a high vibration or low vibration, you're going to emit a frequency. If you're on a low vibration, you're going to emit a low frequency. You get what I'm saying? So spend time in nature, spend time meditating so you can emit these high frequencies. And when you do emit these high frequencies, things will work out in your favor, man. Not saying it's going to be perfect, and not saying that you're not going to go through things, but sometimes we got to go through things just so we can build strength, so we can build character, so we can build patience. And it's not fun. It's not. Like I said, man, it's not fun to be overwhelmed. It's not fun to be stressed out. But when you start learning that you have the power to overcome that, when you know that, hey, even though I'm stressed out, even though I may not be where I want financially or where I want to be in life, just know that if you in a bad situation, know that there's a polar opposite of that. And you have to learn how to transmute your mental mindset into that polar opposite, if that makes sense. If not, then y'all should just go research the law of polarity. And when you research the law of polarity, you'll kind of get what I'm talking about. But in the meantime, in between time, man, I just wanted to come in and chime in and tell y'all about what I got going on, what just happened to me. And like I said, I can't make this up. Because before this video, I meditated and I visualized this video reaching certain people. And before I press record on this video, I just simply said divine order. And before I press record, when I paint, I say divine order, you know, because we want everything to be in divine order. So y'all go out there, man. Y'all be great. I appreciate y'all time, man. Y'all already know. Y'all stay up. Y'all stay down. Y'all be good. Y'all be great. Peace.